Alright, students, fine, girls and boys, ladies and gentlemen, a very special good evening to everyone. Good evening Shreyas, good evening Navin. Alright, we welcome you all to the day 34 of our full stack web development series. Yeah. Alright, myself Shabnam as usual, and again as usual, as we always begin with a quick recap of what we have studied last time. It was day 33 when I met you last week, Thursday. And we were talking about the validation. We also started with some concept of validation, like maybe validating an empty field. Is it right? Or maybe validating whether an input box has only numbers or not. Something like that, of sort of. Hoping you're understanding it clear. Fine. Okay, now listen to me one thing very carefully. First of all, the topic of validation in JavaScript is not yet completed because our Friday's lecture was cancelled. Okay, now it was scheduled for Friday. Okay, now what we will do is I'm not coming back to validation and completing it. We will mark it pending. Alright, the validation wala topic we will mark it pending, and the Friday's lecture which was cancelled, we will take it as a backup on one of the upcoming Saturdays, Sunday post Diwali. Alright, post Diwali. I hope you got my point. So that time we will be covering our leftover topic of validation. Alright, as well as few topics of CSS which is yet left to be completed. So that's one announcement. Number 2. Today and tomorrow we are exclusively learning, studying and practicing JQuery. Okay, now this is something I can't say too advanced, but it will definitely help you in many projects that you will practice out. Alright, fine. Yes, my friend, when I say CSS means everything that is left in CSS, including your web responsiveness. Is it okay? Fine. We know well. Okay, we know that very well, that what we are yet left to do it. Is that okay? Fine. Now concentrate for the first few minutes very much, since it's important. First of all, see what is the strategy of the class today. Firstly, we will study what is jQuery, theory part. Hardly it will take 5 to 10 minutes. Introduction about the jQuery and why we need jQuery. Alright, okay, then very hot questions like, do we really need to use jQuery? Is jQuery outdated? If it is outdated, what are the other tools or frameworks rather than jQuery developers are using outside? Hoping you understand the point. Alright, so first of all, let us answer the question, what is jQuery? As J stands for JavaScript, this is JavaScript query. Alright, so that is J short here for. Okay, number 1. Number 2, going here one by one. Okay, lot of things that I've kept and pasted. Fine. One moment. Fine. Okay, so first of all, jQuery is one of the most popular JavaScript library. Alright, I repeat the point again. It is one of the most popular JavaScript library. People, we have hardly come across the situation in or scenario in HTML, JavaScript and CSS wherein we had to import some modules which are called as header files or libraries. In fact, recently in this bootstrap classes we did, but those were also not libraries, those were a kind of script or a style sheet files. Alright, many programming languages comes with already written code packed in a program or a file called as a library. Right, I repeat the point again. When talking exclusively about libraries, many programming languages comes inbuilt with some pre-written code packed in a program, pre-written code packed in a file which is called as a library. Alright, in fact for JavaScript, if you have remembered, I think we haven't done, but still if you are already aware of it, sometimes we import date time. You understood? Because all the functions related to date time, maybe it's present and code it for the prototype in date time. I hope you got. Yes, my friend. I'll tell you about that. Library is how framework. It's a collection of libraries. It's like an entire architecture. Alright. Anyways, but I'll come to that point. Let me complete the definition of library first. Shreyas, fine. Fine. So when you talk about library, listen to my point carefully. It's a written piece of code. Okay, some written lines of code, 2 lines, 20 lines, 100 lines. Developers of the technology already write some code and provide to us when you install the platform, alright, or the framework, whatever. Right. So this pre-written code, when packed or saved in a file, that forms a library. Alright. So jQuery, it is a blessing in disguise in JavaScript. It's a very popular library available in JavaScript जिसका काम सिर्फ एक है, only one. मोटो ऑब्जेक्टिव, उसके पीछे मकसद यही है to simplify the complex and complicated JavaScript code in a simple line. I hope you got my point. All my friends who are present here, especially those who are coming here from non-IT backgrounds, people, the main purpose of jQuery library in JavaScript is it simplifies the code. Look, this is the point I have written here. Especially, it takes lot of common tasks that requires otherwise many lines of code. जो JavaScript 20 लाइन लिखकर काम करेगा, हो सकता है jQuery will reduce it down to 2 lines or 4 lines or 5 lines. But 100 lines of code otherwise written with a combination of JavaScript, CSS, HTML. Hi, 100 lines of code otherwise which could be written in with a combination of HTML, CSS and JavaScript can be really reduced down to hardly 10-20 lines of code using jQuery. Right? That's the reason it's a mantra. You know, jQuery outside, if you see developers talking about jQuery, this kind of mantra it is like write less, do more. Okay, this is a very common saying about jQuery which you will find written by many authors in different books and published on different websites. Hoping you understand. Okay. Concept clear till you're fine? Right. Talking. So that's what is the main. No, my friend. TypeScript is absolutely different. If not absolutely, but it has a lot of differences between JavaScript. If time permit today, Bharat, remind me again at the end. I'll talk more about TypeScript and JavaScript as well as jQuery. Is that okay? Fine. TypeScript, we have not kept it covered in our syllabus, but definitely sometime at a point, after completing full stack, at a point we will definitely have some 3-4 days fast track lectures on TypeScript. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So that's something about jQuery. Putting up all these explanations about jQuery in short, cut short and simplify them. So first of all, it's a very popular library in JavaScript. Alright, number 2, the only use of jQuery, I can say the main purpose of jQuery is to reduce the amount of code which could be otherwise written in the combination of HTML, CSS and JavaScript together. Hoping you understand it. It is also very useful. Look, this is the point. It is also very useful to simplify a lot of complicated things from JavaScript. Alright, a lot of complicated things it ideally reduces down, simplify. How? We will answer them one by one. Hoping you understand, right? Fine. Acha. One more thing I would like to put down here is jQuery. It is also used to achieve CRUD in JavaScript. SCRIPT. Okay, it is also used to achieve CRUD in JavaScript or using JavaScript, whatever you want to say. People, where CRUD stands for. I'll talk about CRUD in much depth. Hello guys, what is the status? Guys, what is the status? Audibility, visibility clear? Yes, ma'am, clear. Okay, fine. Coming back to this point here, mostly we also make use of jQuery in JavaScript, that is for CRUD operations. People, CRUD, as Raji Guru over there has stated, it stands for create, read, update and delete. But I'm going to talk about CRUD in much depth in our upcoming SQL classes. Alright, so that is creating a new data, reading data from the table, updating data in the table and deleting data from the table. But before understanding CRUD, we also need to understand what is a table, what is a data and so on. I hope you got my point. Is that very clear to us? Fine. Okay, good. I'm glad that many of us are aware about the CRUD operations. Fine. Alright, so this was our very small introduction about the jQuery. Friends, we have lot more to speak about jQuery, but I would like to restrict our explanation till here. But you do not restrict yourself, you try to explore more about jQuery. Alright, number one. Number two, now there are certain questions here. Number one, is jQuery outdated? Okay, like this. Okay, coming here. Like, is jQuery outdated? Okay, if yes, then what is the other, or what are the, let me say, okay, what are the other alternatives, okay, alternatives of jQuery? Okay, is jQuery still used outside? Okay, is jQuery still used by the programmers or IT companies, etc, etc? I hope you got my point. Concept clearly, fine. So answer to question number one, is jQuery outdated? Answer is actually no, but it's a little biased question. We have some frameworks better than JavaScript's jQuery. Alright, to answer this question, I have kept one Google result searched here. Have a look. Alright, fine. I simply type who are the first 2 or first 10. This is just to show you most powerful web frameworks. Now here comes somebody's question who asked me difference between framework and libraries. Alright, so I'll be talking about that again in depth. Listen to me. What are the most powerful web frameworks? So these are what you will find. You know, so number one stated Django. It's not ranked, I'm just reading them. Somewhere you will find Spring, somewhere you will find Angular, somewhere you will find React, but you will also find the presence of jQuery here. Hoping you understand, right? So you know, roughly around 20 to 22% of companies, or let me say the overall code or the overall project, still make use of jQuery outside. But yes, if given an option, I would prefer to work with, or in fact love to work with, Angular or React over jQuery, because the usability, implementation, coding is much easier there. Alright, so that's number one. Number two, although we are learning jQuery, but we are never ever going to use jQuery in our projects that we are going to develop once I start coding Python. Alright, हम कभी भी इसको अपने project में use नहीं करेंगे, because we are going to learn something which is 10 times better than jQuery, like Django, React and Angular. Alright, but the thing is what, you know, see, knowing the idea of jQuery and having its knowledge is like an icing on the top of the cake. And plus it also prepares you for the interview, and you are always aware of what jQuery does and how the things have been transformed when you talk about these frameworks like Angular, React, Express, Node, Django and so on. Hoping you're getting my point. Is that okay? All of us fine? So here we go. Another reason we are also learning jQuery is, once I complete jQuery, I will ask you people to work on a small, it's a mini project, but that I will talk to you at the end of the class today. Is that okay? All of us fine? Check. So these are some popular frameworks, and this is how you find the place. Some authors even write, कुछ लोग अभी भी ऐसे लिखते हैं that jQuery is the third most powerful tool. People, Okay, jQuery, that is still the third most powerful tool after React, Angular or Django, Angular, React, Django and all. Okay, these are the 2-3 tools which are very popularly used, like React, Angular, Django, almost rankings or up and down एक दूसरे को match होता है etc. And then after these 2-3 frameworks, yeah, jQuery is still the most preferred. I hope you got my point. Concept is clear till here. Yes, you can say that way. Alright, mostly it's used for front end, but it also achieves the CRUD operation through backend. Hoping you understand my point. Alright, fine, take it. So this was all about the explanation or the concept of jQuery. It helps us to write JavaScript code shorter and simpler. It makes our JavaScript coding easier. It's a lightweight a library of JavaScript, and it's a cross browser supporting or a cross platform, means it can be supported by different browsers. Is that okay? All of us fine? So next, this is the most important function of JavaScript that we are going to use. Okay, called as $, people $, enclosed with round bracket or ended with round bracket. This is also called as a shorthand method of writing this function. Okay, jQuery. Okay, almost shorthand way of writing jQuery is $, followed by opening closing curly bracket, right? Also, it's a shorthand way of writing window dot $, and something like this. Okay, now since we are yet to study DOM and BOM, so I'm not interested in window dot $, function. Okay, this is what we are going to use in abundance today. Abundance, that is $, and opening closing round bracket. All of us here, fine. Okay, this function in jQuery is also known as, इसको हम एक और नाम से बुलाते हैं, that is a factory function or a selector function. Please post your questions in the chat section. $, opening closing round bracket, this is called as a factory function or a selector function. Why? My first important point of the session today, अभी तक की सबसे पहली काम की बात, whatever I spoke so far, keep it aside, people. Alright, the reason why we call it as a selector function, because it is basically used to select any element from an HTML document. Alright, I repeat the point again. Focus on this work, please. Come on. This is a selector function because it selects any HTML element based on its name, based on its ID, based on its class, and many more things. For example, if I write like this, okay, say if I write like this, $P paragraph, that means it will select all the paragraphs from the HTML page. Right. But if I write like this, $button, so it will select all the button elements from the page. Select करने के बाद क्या करना है वो हम देखेंगे आगे. But that's the reason this is called as a selector. Okay, I'm answering you the fact that why we call it as a selector function. So this is, I can't say 100%, but almost equal to write document.getElement by ID or document.getElement by name. Alright, get element by ID, get element by name. So this is a shorthand method of writing that big JavaScript code. People, please acknowledge this statement, you understood or not. Document.getElement by ID or document.getElement by name. So instead of writing this big code, we simply use $, in the round bracket, either name of the tag. If it is an ID, you have to write with hashtag ID of the tag. तो ये लगभग ऐसे लिखने के बराबर हो गया, document dot get element by ID, the one whose ID is P1. So of course writing this way is shorter as compared to this way, correct? I hope you got my point. All of us fine? Suppose there is some button down whose name is again B1 and you want to call the tag by its name. So again make use of get element dot name or selector function. Right? तो अगर आप कुछ भी नहीं लिखते हो इसका मतलब you are talking about the tag on its own. Okay. If you're writing hash and then some name, that means that's an ID of the tag. And suppose if I write like this, people, I write like this, dollar dot b1, that means I'm not talking about the tag, I'm not talking about the ID of that tag, but I'm talking about the class of that tag. Okay, I want to search, people. It's like a searcher. ढूंढता है, बात सुनिए ध्यान से, ढूंढता है. It searches the one whose class is b1 from the page and returns back. Here what will happen? It will search the tag whose ID is p1 and it will return the tag. It searches all the tags who are of the type button. That means all the button tags will be written from the page. Right? So this is how a big code which can be otherwise written using JavaScript is shortened and written using this shorthand function selector. Alright, good. Hello everyone. Yeah, my friend. Hello, Crown Brothers. I could read your name. Is that okay? Fine. So shorthand method, number 1. Acha. Abhi, number 2, I have coded here, or let me say written here, a big table, the different ways in which you can use. Alright, this is as it is taken and somewhat manipulated from the official website of jQuery. But I'm not going to discuss everything as of now because इसमें से अभी भी बहुत सारे CSS इफेक्ट है जो हमको पढ़ना बाकी है, like nth child, first child, last child, nth child, even child, odd child, siblings, and so on. Alright, that's hardly a 15-20 minutes ka matter. One day we will extend the lecture and cover it up so that it will help us in this way. But still you will be able to understand somewhat. Look, if the selector is star, suppose if I write here star, guys, if I write here star, that means I'm talking about all the tags. Alright, I'm talking about all the tags, right? If I hashtag first name, means it will select only the element whose ID is first name. Alright, dot primary, that means it will select all the elements whose class name is primary. Dot primary, dot secondary, that means it will select all the elements whose class is either primary or secondary. Whose class is either primary or secondary. Means you can give a comma and provide more than one ID, correct? Or one class. ये काम हम इधर भी कर सकते थे. Say more than one IDs. Fine. Okay. Next this way. This is going to select only the paragraph tags. This is going to select 3 tags: heading, H1 tag, division tag, as well as the paragraph tag. Alright. Okay, I speak 1 or 2 here in only if you understand. Don't break your head. यहाँ तक समझा तो भी बस है as of now. Even if you're understanding till here, it is okay. The day we learn about even child, odd child, first child, last child, nth child, we'll talk about this if time permit again. Is that okay? This is too depth. Alright, so it's going to select the 3 tags again. I hope you got my point. Fine. Okay, so these are the different ways you can use the selector function. Alright, okay. Let me first write a very simple code. Here I am. Okay. Day 34. Let me write here jQuery tutorial.html. Alright, jQuery tutorial.html. People, you will need one jQuery library inside your head part. Okay, you can copy this from official website of jQuery. I'll share with you soon. As of now, to go ahead, this is my code, and in the head part I simply keep this pasted. Okay, this is a script, and you could say okay, jQuery.min.js is been imported, or let me say it has been used as an SRC in our file. googleapis.com and all, Ajax library jQuery. How to get this link, how to copy, where to paste and all, or let me say kahan se lena hai source code. I'll be sharing the link with you. As of now, I go ahead. So make sure that the official link of jQuery is been kept imported in our head part. All of us, that's one thing. Good. Okay. Number 1, I create one paragraph tag here. Say paragraph. I'm little fast for the next 5 minutes now. Focus. Paragraph. Say hello everyone and welcome to jQuery. Okay, hello everyone, welcome to JQuery and I end a paragraph tag. Alright, I save this, and I say open with live server. The paragraph is here. Alright, but I want this paragraph to be shown only if I click on some button. ध्यान से सुनिए बात, ये पैराग्राफ तभी दिखना चाहिए जब कोई बटन पे या किसी लिंक पे या किसी कंट्रोल पे क्लिक करता है या किसी मेन्यू पे. रिमेंबर द बूटस्ट्रैप ड्रॉप डाउन मेन्यू which we created that day and so on. So what I do, I create one button here. Okay, button, say id is equals to b1. Okay, say click to show and I close the button. I save this and I come here, click to show. Okay, now there are 100 things that I can code using Bootstrap as well, but now you realize how the same thing is been shortened using jQuery. jQuery एक काम कितना easily and with a cool attitude it does. Are you understanding my way of talking here? It actually achieves even the complex task, कठिन से कठिन काम भी, in a very cool attitude. See how? Fine. Okay, I come inside the head part and I code for a script, because after all jQuery is a JavaScript library, so we need a script tag. Okay, hoping you're understanding why are we coding in the script. Okay, fine. Alright, here I write, okay, so this is a selector. Before I could select any other thing, I say document dot ready. People, ready is an event. You will find most of the jQuery code written in this event. That means when the document is ready, do this task. Okay, it's not always compulsory to use document.ready, but sometimes what we want, as soon as the web page is loaded, ye kaam kar dena, background set kar dena, color wo dikha dena, and so on. Alright, sometimes some events even work without the ready function, but we will always maintain a habit. Everything that we code is inside document.ready. That means when this web page is loaded, do the following task. I repeat, document.ready. Document लिखकर आप किसकी तरफ उंगली करते हो, किसकी तरफ इशारा करते हो, that is the self page itself, this one, HTML page. Right, so when this web page will be loaded in the browser, do following stuffs. Okay, ideally jQuery is designed this way to work. Alright, I speak the point aloud and clear in my words. हमने jQuery को इस तरह काम करने के लिए बनाया है कि उसके सारे टास्क काम करेंगे, एग्जीक्यूट करेंगे, फंक्शन करेंगे, लागू हो जाएंगे, रूल्स एप्लीकेबल हो जाएंगे once the page is loaded in the browser. The page itself is not able to be loaded, the page itself is stuck up. jQuery is absolutely helpless. It can't do anything it says. And so once the document is ready, do the following task. What is the task? Come on, करना क्या है आपको? If somebody clicks on this button, I want to show this message or I want to hide it. Come on, it's already showing, so let us hide it. Got it? Fine. Alright, number 1. Number 2, most of the jQuery function accepts an argument. See, this is a ready. Alright, later, almost by tomorrow, I'll tell you this is an event. Whether you talk about event or you talk about any function of jQuery, most of them, in fact more than 95% of this function accepts an argument. People, argument which is anonymous function. Alright, now I take a 2-minute break from Visual Studio Code, 2-minute break, and I come back to this notepad file. Okay, notepad file here. Anonymous functions in JavaScript. Let me write it in short. People, first of all, anonymous functions are those functions who have no names. They are also created using the keyword functions. Okay, they are also created using the keyword function. Yes, in the function definition, they also have the round brackets. Alright, yes, if they can return values. Okay, yes, they can return values, and these return values you can store in a variable also. Alright, these return values you can store in a variable also. Fine, number 1 or 2, 3 points. Next one, all my friends are present. I want you all to understand this point, please. ये बहुत ही important है समझना. Then what is the difference between anonymous function and a normal function which we create? Like if I write like this, function ABC, alright, and it does something. So this is not anonymous because it has a name, and by this name only it is going to be called. Alright. But if you talk about anonymous function, function has no name. It has no name, people. Alright, it has no name, and in fact if you want to call it, we simply write this kind of round brackets immediately after creating a function, and plus once it is invoked, there is no other way you can call this function. जबकि इसको हम नीचे 100 लाइन का कोड लिखने के बाद फिर बुला सकते हैं. 100 lines of code is present here. Come on, 100 lines of codes are present here, and suddenly I find the need of ABC. I am calling it back again. Try to understand. Then after again 100 lines of code, I am calling ABC back again. But this is not the case with anonymous. Got it? Fine. It has been created and used there. And if you want to recall anonymous function, then you have to store what it is returning in some variable and call it via that variable something. Let's say it is accepting one argument, say x and y, and I pass here this as 10 and 20. Right, now this is A who is actually going to relate yourself to this anonymous function x1. Alright, so this is what anonymous functions are. Number 1. Question number 2. जिनको कुछ नहीं समझा अभी तक, I hope you at least understood. Anonymous are those who have no names. Implement the English meaning of the word anonymous. Actually unknown. पता नहीं. पता होता तो I would have called him or her by his name. उसका नाम ही नहीं है, that's the reason we call him unknown. Number 2, why? Why do we use anonymous functions? Or when do we use anonymous functions? Clear? Fine. So to make this point easy to understand, I have kept one statement written here. Anonymous function is ideally created and utilized as, इसको तब use करना sense बनता है. Understood? Anonymous functions are used when it is utilized as a parameter for immediate function execution within a function. Understood? You don't want to define a function and then call it. You don't want to break this process into 2 steps. Come on, I want everyone to understand, only then we will go ahead. भाई हमको ये सब 2 step में पूरा process नहीं तोड़ना है. पहला define करो फिर बुलाओ. Define it, call it. No, immediate. The moment function is created, it should be called. So that happens only when you pass a function as an argument to some other function. Alright? That's what I'm saying, Naveen. That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm talking about. When do we use anonymous functions? Alright? Anonymous functions say when you are, for those who are again not understanding, in a little more layman language, थोड़ा और इसको नीचे आकर layman language में बात करें तो, say you don't want to define a function and then call the function. So you want the function to be invoked right at the time it has been defined. Then at that time, what do? Is we pass this anonymous functions as an argument to some other function. Alright, so you see, ready is already a function here. Alright, now it accepts an argument which is another function. Alright, ये खुद अपने आप में एक argument लेता है, and this argument is not any variable like x, y, z and all. It is itself a function, but it makes sense to use anonymous function here because you don't have to call and then, or let me say define and then call. It will be automatically invoked the moment you define inside. Right? That means I just write function, opening closing round bracket, and this is the function block. Everything is same except the function has no name. Everything is same. Number 1, except this function has no name. Number 2 people, this function को हमको अलग से बुलाने की जरूरत नहीं है because it is used as an argument of some other function. Got it? Alright, it's used as an argument. So whenever ready function will be called, automatically this function will be called there and then itself. Right, fine. So this is my function block. Right, let me put the semicolon here because otherwise this was one statement only, right? ठीक है. अच्छा, अभी इसको करना क्या है? Come on. Ready. When the document is ready, what to do? Okay. I call element whose ID is p1. Who's that? This one. Am I right? I'm calling an element whose ID is p1, and when it is clicked, now see, click is another function, is actually an event. Now this is also going to take an argument which is an anonymous function. Understand? On click, if this button is clicked, so what to do? This function will state. This function will state. Fine. Let me use dollar here. What is the meaning of this? Select all those elements who are paragraph. Now I'm having only one paragraph. That's the reason I write here P. You want, you can call your paragraph by its ID also. Alright. Dot height. Hoping you understand. That is dot height. Right. So tell me from internally what's happening, or maybe from externally, when this document is ready. So when this document is ready, this function takes an argument that is an anonymous function. So we created an anonymous function. This is an anonymous function when the document is ready. What it does? It says that when call the element whose ID is b1, and if this button is clicked, what to do? The anonymous function will reply people. Anonymous function uska click event handler ban jayega. So we have attached this anonymous function as an event handler to click event. Got it? Come on, we have attached this anonymous function as an event handler to our click event. और वो क्या बोलता है? When this button will be clicked, right? If there is any paragraph tag, or call all those elements who have tag, who are tags which are the paragraph tag, and let them be hidden. Okay, let's save this. Let's come here. Okay, I say click. It's gone. Again, click. It's gone. Again, I click. It's gone. Instead of show, let me write the message or title here as hide. Right? Again, if I click, it's gone. Okay, now I'm clicking it so many times. I'm clicking it so, but it is not coming. Why? Because I want another button so that I click and it is being shown. So tell me, how do I do that? Come on. वो कैसे करेंगे? So let's say this is our another button. Relax, I'm going to code a lot of anonymous functions here. You will in fact get used to them. Click to show. Click to hide, it's hidden. But when I say click to show, it doesn't come. Okay, so let me come here. Now the choice is yours. When the document is ready, people, document is ready. Okay, you will be confused. You will be confused. So let me do one thing. For initially, let me write that code again. So document dot ready help hurry up. What to do? This is the function. It accepts as an argument anonymous function. Okay, this is going to act as an event handler of ready event. Got it? As if we are attaching this handler, people. This is going to handle this event ready. ठीक है. Okay, I was reading your comment. Fine. चलिए अभी बताइए सब बच्चे. Everyone help me. Come on. How to write it? Even you run your logic and mind when I'm coding it. जल्दी करिए. Anonymous function. This function is not going to have any name. So this function will be called when the document is ready. What is the advantage of using anonymous function and not any named function here? This function will be created and called at the same time. Got it? हमको अलग से इसको कॉल करने का यहाँ पे जरूरत ही नहीं है. Understood? This function will be created and called at the same time. So when this is the requirement, ideally we prefer to work with anonymous function. Now clear? Everybody now clear? Got Shreyas, Naveen, Rakesh, Crown Brothers, Raji Guru, and other of my friends who are here in case. Fine. Come on, come to this conclusion if you're finding it hard to understand. अभी इस conclusion पर आइए, इस मुद्दे पर आ जाइए. Right? When you want to create the function and use it, call it there and there itself, we ideally prefer to work with anonymous functions. Alright, so when the ready event is, or let me say the event is generated, this function will be called, created and called. बस उधर बनाओ, उधर यूज करो, खत्म करो. उधर ही बनाओ, उधर ही यूज करो और उसको खत्म कर दो. We don't want it anymore. That's it. Right? What to do? Tell me what to do. It is in turn going to call. Okay, I want button, people. So let me call this button whose ID is B2. So we will call the button whose ID is B2 dot click. Come on, dot click. What to do if the button is clicked? This function is going to in turn take another anonymous function. Function in the body of the anonymous function. Got it? Right? Say paragraph. Instead of writing document.get element by ID P1 or just P. Let me say if there is any paragraph dot show. Good. Thank you. All of us here. Fine. Function udhar hi banao, udhar hi call karo. You don't want to break that process into two parts, and it is so simple otherwise. Clear? That's the reason ideally we make use of anonymous function. Okay. Save this. So this is another function, but this time we are coding it better to show. चलिए अभी देखते जाइए. It's already showing. So let me hide and then click on show. Hide, show, hide, show. So guys, what could be the meaning of this one then? Okay, इसका मतलब क्या होगा? I copy this. अच्छा, let me not copy. Let me not copy. The more we code, the more you get used to anonymous. Okay. So when the document is ready, आपको इतनी बार document.ready लिखने का जरूरत नहीं है. एक ही document.ready की scope में भी you can code many functions. Got it? I am coding it so that you are used to. Function. This is anonymous function. Alright. I create one more button here. Help. Let me create another button and the ID of this button is B3. Okay. I am just writing a click to toggle. Click to toggle. What this function is doing, I am inside the anonymous function definition. Help everyone. If the button B3 is clicked, I want paragraph to toggle. How will you code it? इसका bootstrap version आप लिखोगे तो पूरा toaster बनाना पड़ेगा people. I hope you got my point. पूरा toaster बनाना. Yes. Yes, my friend. These all are the methods of JQuery. Shreyas, got it? These all are the methods of JQuery. In fact, I can't say method. They are the effects. Okay, I'll come to your point. Just give me 2 minutes of time. What question Shreyas is asking here? Alright. Okay. Coming back in this function ahead. So when the document is ready, help me to write this code. All my friends who are present here. Button number 3 जिसका ID B3 है, उस पे क्लिक किया तो पैराग्राफ टॉगल होना चाहिए. You understand? Toggle on off, on off, on off. How will you do that? Right. So call the element whose ID is B3. So this much code is equivalent to write document.get element by ID B3. Correct? इतना कोड लगभग इतना लिखने के बराबर है. बुलाइए उस एलिमेंट को जिसका ID B3 है and respond to its click event by adding this event handler. Am I right? Click is an event. This event is to be handled by this code. That code is called as an event handler, and this code is always an anonymous function. So function, this function is going to say paragraph should be toggle, but which paragraph? Which paragraph you want to toggle if somebody clicks the third button? Hurry up, which paragraph you want to toggle? I don't have any idea of the paragraph here, but I am very sure this page has only one paragraph. So instead of ID, I am writing the tag name itself, that is paragraph. समझ रहे बात? Instead of writing ID, I am writing the tag name itself. This is without any reason. You create an ID and write the ID here. You want to create a class for that paragraph and write the class here. Right? So dot toggle. Hoping you understand. Right? So this is the meaning of these 2 lines of code. 2-3 lines of code. If the button is clicked, attach this anonymous function which says toggle the paragraph. Let's see what is the meaning of toggle. it would be better if you write semicolons when this function ends. Okay, so if I say click to toggle, gaya वापस आया, गया वापस आया, गया वापस आया, गया वापस आया, and I hope you are understanding now how much this would be helpful, especially for any website or for any app development. Is that okay? Hoping you're getting my point. No, my friend, show hide is actually not a method also, and they're not events also. Right, Bharat and Shreyas, ना वो method है ना वो event है. These are called as effects. Okay, jQuery has different methods. Right, उसके अलग अलग methods है. I'm going to talk about the methods tomorrow. Events are like click. I hope you got my point. When I talk about the method, means if I say text. Right, so what will happen if I write like this? I think the font is very small. Okay, let me increase it. Page up. Pay attention, please. Pay attention. Let it ignore this all. Otherwise, you will be highly confused. When you talk about the methods, example of one of the method is text. Like if I write like this, p dot text, so it is going to return the text of the paragraph. Okay, so if the paragraph is p, say hello, and the p closes here. So this is the text of the paragraph. Of course, if it is returning, so we are going to store it in some variable like this. Understood? Say there is an input box here. Input type is equals to text, id is equals to, help kariya fast, id is equals to t1 t. Okay, and if I write like this, where b is equal to hashtag t1, because t1 is an id. Okay, t1 is an id. So if I write dot text, so whatever is entered inside this text box, that will be written and stored in B. Okay, so that is called as a method. Okay, what we are using, these all are nothing but the effects. Okay, these are the different types of effects. Show, hide, this is called as a display effect. Fade in, fade out, that is called as a fading effect. So today we are learning only jQuery effects. Are you understanding? श्रेयस भरत, बट मैम JS में तो इवेंट्स यही होते हैं ना? नहीं भरत, नहीं. Events are something who need to be, which is actually generated by user and who need to be responded. Like if you click, alright, I would like to spend here a good 1 minute of time behind this. Events are not effects. What about show, my friend? Show. Okay, show and hide, these are not events. This you can call it as effect. Why not event? Because events are those action which is generated by user. For example, click. ये जो बाहर से user छेड़खानी करता है उसको हम event बोलते हैं. Understood? छेड़खानी means what? Your mode of interaction is that way, na? I hope you got my point. That is the mode of interaction. Yes, Saurav, I'll be sending you the link. I'll be saying, just give me a minute of time, please. That is what is your mode of interaction, correct? Everybody else also who are present here in this conversation, try to understand what is the difference between any ordinary function and an event. अगर आप click की बात करोगे, click is not any effect. You understood? Click कोई effect थोड़ी है. Click is actually been generated by, it's an action generated by the end user, correct? I hope you got. What are the other events? Tell me. Click up generate करते हो, double click, right click, scroll up, scroll down, keyboard button down, keyboard button up. So who is responsible? The key A will not be pressed unless and until the user presses, correct? Is that okay? Fine. The mouse will not go up and down and hover automatically unless you place the position of the pointer up and down. Alright? Others also, please. I hope this is correct or not. Fine, Shreyas and Bharat, I think you were talking about. But the event is something who the jiska generator or creator is the user himself, or the responsible is user himself. Is that okay? Yes, mouse over, mouse out, hundreds of those events, people. Some events are generated by the system itself. There are some emergency events like keyboard interrupts and all, etc., etc. But click is not an effect. Click is an event. What about show and what about hide? Come on, you click a button and it will be shown. You click a button and something will be hidden. Right? So show और hide यहाँ पर event नहीं है. Always remember, event उसी action को बोलते हैं जो user के द्वारा create होता है. You click, that is an event. You double click, that's an event. That's not any effect. I hope you got my point. Good. Thanks for asking that question. Show, hide, toggle. What do you think after this explanation? Toggle is going to be an event? Absolutely not. Is that okay? Toggle is never going to be an event. Look, other events. See now. I actually wanted to code so many things, but now let me change this one only. Instead of using toggle, I'm using fade here. Fade in. पूरा कोड सेम है. टॉगल के बदले आई एम राइटिंग फेड इन. चेक व्हाट हैपेंस. ओके, लेट मी यूज फेड आउट. Oh, that means you see the difference, people. You see the difference. फेड टॉगल करके देखते हैं. मीन्स दोनों हो जाएगा. सो हाँ, दिस इज नॉट एन नॉर्मल शो और नॉर्मल हाइट, करेक्ट? Normal show या normal hide नहीं हो रहा. See, if I write just toggle, it quickly shows and quickly hides. Quickly shows and the quickly hide. Check. What was that? Paragraph toggle, right? Did I save this? Yes. Refresh it. You see how quickly it shows and how quickly it hides. Am I right? Fine. But if I say fade toggle, it takes some time and it generates some fade, correct? So this is how it works. Okay, it takes some time. Okay, and if you want, you can set some opacity also here. Okay, let me take it right like this. Instead of fade toggle, fade to 0.5. Check what is the output. Not working. Okay, let me do this way. Okay, this is the effect. Is that okay? Okay, Saurav, fine. Saurav says he has some work. But my friend, I cannot end the class right now. Okay, so this is how it is not completely disappearing. Opacity, that means the level degree of transparency, correct? Fine, that is the degree of transparency. So if I say opacity up to 7, opacity 7. Okay, so that means only a bit dull. Hoping you understand that, correct? Is that okay? And instead of slow, if I write here fast. Okay, so it is not that slow. It is quick, in fact, this time. Alright, so this all comes under fading effects. Okay, so show and hide, people. Show, hide, and toggle. These were all display effects. Then comes your, what should I say, fade in, fade हो जाएगा, fade out बाहर आ जाएगा, fade in, fade out, and fade toggle, as well as fade to. Fade to make difference with ना, it takes opacity, correct? It takes opacity. Okay, similarly, sliding effects. This is a very popular effect in most of the games and apps nowadays. Sliding effects, people. Sliding effect. What if I say, if somebody clicks on that button, say slide this paragraph, slide the paragraph, slide down. Tell me what happens. Okay, it's already down. So let me say slideUp. Okay, I hope you got my point. Alright, so it is sliding up. This is not fading, people. This effect is not fading. Check, if I say slideToggle, that means both up and down coming. ऊपर से नीचे आता है, that is called as down. But if it's already नीचे, it won't go down. Correct? That's slideToggle. Hoping you're understanding my point. Alright, this is how it goes. This is how it goes. This is how it goes. Correct? Fine. So these are the sliding effects. Alright, and then we also have some yeah, this is called a slideUp, slideDown. Let me say like this: slideUp, slideDown, slideToggle. Right? In other effects, we have generally some animation effects and some delay effects. People, this is widely used in gamings. Okay. No, my friend, no. Okay. Anyways, pay attention here. Animation effects and the delay effects. People, after tomorrow, when we complete the complete jQuery, I want you people to work on one mini project. Okay, देखिए वो project is like this snake game. The snake game. Okay, it doesn't require any hard and fast code. अब तक का हमने जितना JavaScript, CSS, HTML और jQuery सीखा है, you can create the game this way. Right? For example, okay, I'm out. Again, refresh. Okay, I'm out. I've kept the speed behind too fast. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to connect to this box. Okay, fine. That means I'm out. I hope you got my point. Is that clear? Understanding it? This is created only. Okay. This time I'm successful. That means the snake is elongated. Okay, game over. Something like that. Alright, fine. This is absolutely created using jQuery. Alright, some animation effect, some delay effect, some sliding effect. So try. You also try. If I could do that, even you can do it. Hoping you are understanding. Clear? So take this one as a mini project because it doesn't require any CRUD operation. इसमें कोई update, delete, create, records, data नहीं है. Simple HTML, CSS, JavaScript and jQuery है. Is that okay? Please give your hands on. Okay, give your hands on. And by the time I simply give you some animation effects here. Okay, a simple code for animation that I've kept coded. Okay. Now you tell me what this code will be doing. You tell me inside the script tag only. Okay, so let me create one more button. Help, everyone, please help. Okay, say ID of the button is B4. Let me say click to animate. Okay, and if somebody clicks this button B4, come on, somebody clicks this button B4, my paragraph should animate. I don't want this left and right. Okay, let me comment these two lines. धीरे धीरे करके समझते हैं. Okay, its width and height should change to 150 pixel. Understood? Yes, my friend. Yes. You can include the bootstrap effects also, but एकदम भी पागल नहीं हो जाना. You understood? सब कुछ एक साथ में लेकर टूट मत पड़ो. jQuery, in my opinion, you should give more priority as compared to bootstrap. I hope you got my point. Is that okay? Please try that way. Fine, because the thing is what, bootstrap ka documentation you will always get it, even if you work on any live server outside. Right? We should be very, very particular about the syntax and interpreting the syntax of jQuery, and that will definitely help us in building foundations of React Angular also. Okay? So tell me what this is doing. If somebody clicks on the button B4, paragraph should animate. Its height should change to 150 and width should change to 150. Let's see it is working or not. Okay, so let me do one thing. let me, it is not, we are not able to understand, right? So I say color, I give some style here, inline CSS say background color pink. Paragraph has a background color pink. People, inline CSS, I'm giving some style here. Yeah, so I hope you understand, correct? Okay, not next time. Okay, yeah, this is how. Okay, all of us, if this is working too. So even the opacity is working this time. Is that clear? Even the opacity is working. Hoping you are understanding, people. Right. So if I click here, so these changes are happening to the paragraph. Alright. So similarly, you can also work with delay. People, this all comes under a different effects. Where should I go to? This is my snippet. This is my snippet. 1 minute, please. Okay, delay. Okay, first of all, let's use a simple delay. If somebody clicks on the button, the paragraph should be delayed. Okay, this is how. Let's code, people, instead of copying it from you. Okay, so let me create one button first. Okay, so this is my button B5. Click to delay. Okay, coming up here. So when the document is ready, what to do? This anonymous function defines that attach this click event to this button B5. How to call that button? Say this is B5, hashtag B5. Okay, click event of the button. This event is again going to take an anonymous function as an argument. क्या करे उसके साथ फिर? Okay, what to do? So call paragraph. Paragraph is a tag, so I won't be writing hashtag behind. Paragraph dot, actually we say fade in. Let me do fade in first. Okay, relax and wait. Is the code working till here? Where is the output? Here it is. Okay, so fade out. It's fading out, correct? It's fading out. But if I say like this should be delayed. Okay, this should be delayed. Who should be delayed? Fade in. Fade in should be delayed. Say fade in or fade out, whatever it was. This must be delayed. Okay, but you have to specify how much. Okay, so this is 1000 millisecond. How much you want to delay by 1000 millisecond? 1000 millisecond means 1 second. It cannot take number in second. If you write 1, that means 1 millisecond, not 1 second. So if I click here and it takes 1 second and then it goes back. Take फिर से click. So after 1 second that particular thing disappears. Is it okay? Well, then many more things which you can try. Is it right? Many more things. Say paragraph delay fast, delay slow, delay after 1 second, delay this operation for 2 seconds, delay this operation for 4 seconds. That depends upon how much you want to delay and what you want to delay. Hoping you are understanding. People, I was reading the chats up. Somebody, you were discussing about the notes. Exactly which notes you're talking about? Today's notes. Am I right? You're talking about which notes? पता नहीं वो message delete हो गया क्या? I don't know. Okay, these notes I shall be sharing. Is that okay? Take it. Fine. Good. Thank you for all those things. Okay, when you did it in Bootstrap, I scratched my head, but you made it very simple. Okay, I think Bootstrap was also simple, Shreyas, correct? If I'm not wrong. चलो कोई बात नहीं. ठीक है. So this is what we have done about this is the takeaway from the class today. JQuery effects. Clear? JQuery effects. Now tomorrow when I see you, we will be discussing about many methods of JQuery as well as events of JQuery. Okay, so methods and events, that is what we are planning to complete tomorrow as much as we can. JQuery notes. Okay, I'll be sending you the JQuery notes. It would be great if you give me another 1 day of time. I'm still under the construction of it. We are. Okay, the notes are still under the construction. Is that okay? But whatever I have, I'll do it. Hoping you will understand. अच्छा, एक और important काम की बात अभी तक का people, अभी तक का और काम की बात. See, this is JQuery official website, jquery.com. You will get all the effects, all the methods, and all the events from here. Right? So if I could go here, right? You want, you can go to API documentation. Okay, and whatever you want, you can search from here. ठीक है, आपको यहाँ पर लगभग सब मिल जाएगा. See effects, people. You could see effects. Check it out. Effects. Some basic effects. Hide, show, toggle. Got it? Hide, show, toggle. Then how to use them. Okay. In fact, आप अगर यहाँ से पढ़ोगे तो you will end up learning more, because if you see hide and show, they come with their own syntaxes also. Okay, say duration, complete, that means other than what we have done, you can even try more. So take it as a homework for today. What is this easing function, what is this queue function, what is this special easing and all. First give a simple hands-on, जो basic है उसको पहले complete करें. Right? Then if you talk about fading effects, then you talk about sliding effects, you'll get everything from here. Alright, all of us here. Fine, that's all. Anyways, let's have a quick recap of what we have learned today. First of all, we started from what is JQuery. Is a small, lightweight library of JavaScript. It is used to write the programs with a short code, makes JavaScript coding easier and shorter, simple also. Is that okay? Then next, a jQuery is generally used when you want to write and execute program fast. Is that okay? It helps you to execute the program faster because the code is lesser. Then jQuery has a shorthand notation $, and then the round brackets $ function, also called as a factory function or a selector function. It is used to select any element from the HTML page either by the name or by its ID or by its class. Alright, JavaScript has many things like JavaScript effects, JavaScript methods, jQuery effects, jQuery methods, jQuery event, of which we have discussed about effects today. Tomorrow we will be talking about methods and events. We won't take a lot of time because today we spent half of the lecture in introducing jQuery. So by tomorrow, jQuery, anonymous functions, you would be already known with. Is that okay? All of us here. Fine? Okay, nice to meet you all. Have a good day. See you back at 4 PM again tomorrow with jQuery part 2. And do not forget to start working on this project. एक दिन में ही बनाना है ऐसा नहीं है. Take your time, develop the project, take 2 days, take 3 days, take 1 week of time, but you should be able to code it. Don't copy from anywhere. Try to run your own logic. Take help for the source code. That's okay. Okay? This kind of snake game, people. Take help from the source code. Hoping you understand. Bye. Goodbye. Take care.